Are you overwhelmed by the list of potential investors that you have and you're not quite sure how to navigate it? Or, you've had all these conversations and you're not quite sure what to do with all these investors that you've talked to and want to keep engaged? Well, let's talk through how to do just that. Let's talk about how to keep these investors engaged. Let's go. Hey there, female founders. My name is Lauren Kane. I am founder of VC Worthy Business. I'm a pitch strategist that gets investors to open their checkbooks for market disrupting female entrepreneurs just like you. This YouTube channel is designed to support you on your fundraising journey from the time that you are pitching through until the money is in the bank. So do me a favor, if you are currently fundraising or thinking about going on this journey, click subscribe. Click the subscribe button right over here and click the bell so that you are notified every time a new video drops. Again, I'm here to support you on this crazy journey and you're not alone. So you want to know every time new content drops because I guarantee you it's going to be helpful for you. Okay, so let's talk about the topic today of all these investor lists that you have. It can be overwhelming. You start the journey out and it seems like, okay, I can just keep a spreadsheet of who I talked to and what we talked about. And then as you go along, you realize, oh my gosh, are so many names. I've had so many conversations and I'm not sure what to do with them. Well, first, I want you to think through investing in a CRM. If you are just starting out and you haven't had a bunch of conversations with investors, you are ahead of the curve. But otherwise, if you are knee deep in a spreadsheet, I want you to think about investing into a CRM system. There are ones that are completely free that you can, add as a Chrome extension. Insightly is one where you can add a Chrome extension where literally you can do it from your inbox. But you want to be able, you can even use something like Salesforce, but you want to be able to keep track of all of your conversations, the status that they are at, and any information that you learn about the potential investor. This is going to help you. So there are a couple of things that you want to think through. There is how to keep your potential investors engaged through the fundraising process, and also to keep them engaged after. So a lot of times you hear, okay, do a newsletter. Newsletter is completely great. Highly recommend you create an investor newsletter. It helps them keep track of your traction, where you are. It helps you keep them updated on the great things that are happening in your company and also what's going on with your raise in case they have a little bit of FOMO and want to change their mind. But you also really want to have a list that's going to work for you. So the first thing is you want to focus on who are your lead investors, how to really continue that conversation with them and close that. But you're going to have a list of investors that are going to say to you, come back to me when you have a lead. I'm interested, but I want you to have a lead. This looks great, but once you have a lead, I will gladly talk to you. You want to make sure you keep in contact with them. Now, I'll be honest, sometimes that is used as an out where they are afraid to say no. But hey, you never know. You never know. So it's worth spending a little bit of time to stay engaged, and it doesn't have to take you a ton of time. So the first thing that I want to say is you want to set yourself up to be consistent with your outreach habits. Consistency is going to allow you to manage the process, have it not feel so overwhelming, and also it's going to allow you to continue fundraising even when you're not raising. What do I mean by that? Well, you're going to continue to fundraise for your company. Once you do one raise, it's probably going to be at least 2 to 3 other raises that you're going to do over the lifetime, maybe even, 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows how many raises if you're going big. And you don't want to feel like fundraising is a switch that you flip on or off. You want it to feel like, okay, this is something I'm naturally doing. I do this all the time. And when you're ready to fundraise, you have this pile and pot of investors lined up that are ready to go and primed. And all you need to do is say, hey, this is the round we're raising and these are the terms we're setting. So what does that look like? You want to set a reasonable expectation for yourself. Again, you're running your own business, so this can't be your full-time job. You want to have a reasonable number of outreaches per week. and then a reasonable number of follow-ups every week. So what I would recommend is, say you reach out to 25 people week 1. You then are going to reach out to 25 people week 2, and then you're going to follow up all the people from the week before. Then the next week, you are going to reach out to another 25 and follow up with the people from the previous 2 weeks. And week 4, you're going to reach out to 25 new people. You're going to follow up with everyone that you reached out to in week 2 and week 3. Week 1 is going to drop off because you know what? They didn't respond and they just might not be interested. So you're just going to let that go. But you want to make sure that you keep track of that because that can get really overwhelming very quickly. You want to make sure that you are reaching out to people on the place that makes the most sense for them. So where on social media are they most active? Are they in Clubhouse? Are they regularly posting articles on LinkedIn? Are they tweeting? Are they on Instagram? Probably not on Facebook. You're probably not going to get to an investor through Facebook, but it can't be hard. It can't hurt trying if you're really trying to figure out where does this person live. But usually Facebook is very personal. Usually Facebook is very personal, and so you will find that investors won't necessarily connect with people on Facebook. It's more an Instagram, Clubhouse, LinkedIn kind of thing, and also Twitter. So now that you've figured out where an investor is, you want to make sure you make note of that. So how did you find them? How did you come across them? How did you connect with them? Did you get them to respond to something that you posted? Are you responding to something that they have posted? You want to keep track because you're not going to remember after this list gets to be 100 people deep. If you get to have a phone call with a potential investor, you want to also make sure you know what you talked about. When you have a great conversation, maybe there's some things that you connected on. Maybe you have a favorite car. Maybe you really like the same book. Maybe you really love going to this specific restaurant if you both live in the same area. Maybe you talked about a specific topic or a current event. You want to note all that so when you're following up with them, you can note, hey, I saw this article and I thought of you. Or, oh my gosh, we talked about this book, which we love, which we both said that we love. Have you thought about this one? I'm reading it right now and I absolutely love it. You want to find ways to connect with your potential investors. It builds that rapport and it reminds them after you have a conversation how awesome you are and that they want to stay connected. So it's about keep coming back and keep coming back. Every now and then update them on how the raise is going. Let them know that you're having great conversations. Continually ask them for connections to other potential investors they think might be interested. But again, you want to keep track of all that in your CRM system. If you get your CRM system operating properly, it's going to notify you of this week you have to follow up with these people. You sent out these emails and didn't hear anything back. You need to follow up again. Or it's been 2 months. You need to send this person an email. You marked it after 60 days. You wanted to follow up with them. You can set up a system so you can put someone in there, put in some notes, and then forget it until it's time to come back. You also want to note, when this is probably going to be a custom field, what stage they invest in. You might run into people who say, come back to me when you're raising a Series A. Okay, but you're going to stay in contact with them until you're raising your Series A, and then once you raise the Series A, you are calling them out on what they said. So it is about priming the pump, priming that the pipeline of investors so that when you are ready to pull the trigger, they are ready to go along the journey with you. It takes a little bit to get it started, but again, if you do it right from the get-go, it is less of a headache. And now if you just go back and start from where you are sitting today and go back and look at your calendar, I bet you can figure out more and fill in more than you even knew that you could. So send out that newsletter, send out personalized follow-up emails, even mail them some things that you think they'd be interested in. People love getting what's called lumpy mail, stuff in boxes, stuff in packages. Sky's the limit. Think outside of the box. Think outside of the box when it comes to staying connected to potential investors. Okay, I hope that this was super helpful for you. And if you want more tips and tricks, follow me on all the places social. Below are all my links to Instagram, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Medium. You can even text me if you have a question. My phone number is below. I look forward to hearing from all of you and seeing you in the next video.